their right and the people that are against them.
Right. What are conservatives right?
I'm number one. Why is that, sir?
You.
Why?
They were not. There's no such thing as man made in the image of God. There is no God.
Say, I appreciate you. He doesn't deserve your attention.
Young sir, she rescued you.
No reason to kill human
Hey,
beings.
man.
The case for like rape and incest.
Is that the only reason you think abortion should be allowed?
What about like miscarriages? Yeah, like how many of you have
Oh
a
yeah,
miscarriage?
I've had 2 miscarriages. My wife has. What are you looking at? Not from my womb. Okay. I've lost children.
Yeah. What happened? Like
I have babies that I named who died.
I understand.
Okay,
That sucks.
you're laughing at it.
No, I'm not.
We didn't intentionally kill those babies.
I know.
Right? So somebody somewhere else does intentionally kill babies.
Okay, but what happened?
That's different than from a miscarriage. If it's not their fault, then it's not their
Yeah,
fault.
but they'll have to bleed out. Their doctors aren't giving them like.
Oh no, I'm for removing children who died in the womb. Yeah.
But like
Miscarriage.
That doesn't happen. You can't get that.
What do you mean you can't get
You
that?
can't get that in Florida.
Yes, you can.
Where?
You can do this in Florida. You can do that in Florida. You can do that in Florida. Of course, you can move a baby's body from the womb. They're doing it right now.
No.
Miscarriage is so common.
Don't get treatment like that.
Yes, they do. That's just
They're
misinformation.
scared to do it.
Did you learn that from NPR or CNN?
No.
No, they're not scared to do that.
research.
Okay, well, do actual research.
I did.
You can do a procedure to remove the body of a baby who has died from natural causes.
After like weeks.
No,
Yeah.
moments.
Okay.
Days, minutes, hours. You can do it. It's not illegal. What it is people who are so dead set on butchering babies for any given reason are so callous that they would use somebody else's loss to justify their intentional murder.
What happens if they're not ready for one though? What
See,
if they're
that's
not ready for
the
it?
real reason. Can we murder people because we're not ready? That's the real reason. All the sort of dancing around and using misfortune.
Consciousness.
So you think that what makes a person valuable is consciousness?
Yeah, sure.
So do you think it's okay to like murder like a 2-year-old?
No.
A
But
2-month-old?
they have consciousness at that point.
What
They
about
think.
a 22-week-old in the NICU?
They still have consciousness.
What kind of consciousness do they have?
Their own feelings. What do you mean by that? Like
So 22 weeks old in a NICU, 22 weeks old in a womb. You can murder the one.
you can't though.
in the
Not
womb.
22 weeks. It's 15 weeks on the amendment.
Okay, so first off, one, I do think humans have rights. We don't get rights at a certain stage. I don't think that some humans are more precious and valuable than other humans. So I disagree with you there. I'm for universal human rights.
So am I.
What are you talking about? You just said that
Universal human rights is a human out of the womb, right?
No, a human is a human. You're a human.
Human is not.
What were you when you were in the womb? Non-human?
Sure.
Like
I was
a-
a fetus.
No, you're a human fetus.
I'm a fetus.
No, you're a human in the fetus stage of development. By the way, what is fetus in Latin? What does that mean?
Like, I don't know.
Like little-
I don't study Latin.
Little child. Well, you're using it.
A fetus, yeah, sure.
Fetus, little child,
I don't know.
little progeny, little child, Latin.
Sure.
So all mammals go through a fetal stage of development. A dog goes through a fetal stage of development. It goes through an embryonic stage of development, but it's a dog embryo and a dog fetus. A human goes through a human fetal stage of development from 9 weeks until birth.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is at 15 weeks, when you're saying it's perfectly fine, that human being, one, is a human being. They are alive and they are conscious.
No.
Yeah, they're like learning.
You can remember what's in the womb? You
Well,
can remember?
no, I'm not saying they can remember things, but I can't remember things whenever I was 2.
I can. I remember my birthday party when I was 2.
Do you remember whenever you were born?
No.
Okay, so then you could be killed right after birth?
No.
Because people on your side of this say, no, we're not advocating for that. But your argument was just that
Where
it's
are they
okay.
Doing that? Where are they doing that?
You just argued,
No, I didn't.
hold on a second. You just argued
15 weeks.
that it was okay as long as you couldn't remember it. What's that about? Is something wrong with you?
Something's wrong with you, I think.
No,
You're mentally
no, that's
deficient. Yeah.
actually, hey,
Who have you convinced?
hey, you with the cross on your, yeah.
You're on one side or the other.
Hey, I know, but there are always people standing up for human rights. They're always a minority. They always argue with people who fight them. And you know what? In history, they're right, and the people that are against them.
Right. What are conservatives right?
No, did you think the abolitionists of slavery were right?
They were liberals. They're liberals.
The abolitionists of slavery, who believed that man was made in the image of God, and that you could.
Abolitionists of slavery.
Yes,
They were not. There's no such thing as man made in the image of God. There is no God.
Abolitionists of
There's no such
slavery
thing as God.
believed that
It's
man
called
was made in the image of God,
do you
and
believe
you
in
couldn't.
evolution?
You could. What kind of evolution? Sure.
Human
Sure.
evolution. Like,
I believe in
we're
all
from
sorts of
monkeys.
evolution, but
We're
not.
from monkeys.
Oh,
You're
descent with modification from a common ancestor by the process of natural selection acting on chance variation?
that?
No,
Why
I don't
not?
believe that. Because
Every
I don't
other
think
animal goes through it.
I don't think complex
other animal goes through
biomicromolecules and genetic information can be
I mean,
produced
dolphins
by
went through
natural
it.
selection.
Dogs went through it. Wolves went through it.
Tell me about evolution. Are you an evolution guy?
What do you mean, evolution guy? I'm a science guy.
Okay, you're a science guy.
Yeah.
So you believe that evolution, by which I'm just going to say descent with modification and the creation of new species, new organization in the biological world by natural selection acting on chance variation or mutation.
Yeah.
You believe that? So explain it to me. Like how do we get it? How do we get to it?
How do you get to it?
Yeah.
Over time, mammal, let's just say a mammal.
No, you have nothing. You have nothing.
You have
Zero.
an organism. You have
No, you don't
one-cell
have-
organisms, right?
Okay, you have
in like the ocean.
You have no cells.
One-cell organisms. Like
No,
they
you don't have cells yet.
reproduce.
You don't have cells yet. So you got to go from no cells to cells. You got to go from no energy to energy. You got to go from no space
there's
to
always
space.
energy, though.
You got to go from no matter. There's always energy.
It's the Big Bang.
You're a science guy, man.
from
Laws
the
of
Big Bang.
thermodynamics. There's not always
Big
energy.
Bang. Everything is reproducible.
Right. So you go
Energy
from
doesn't.
so you go from no bang to big bang. What is it that does that?
Who knows? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
God isn't a thing, so it doesn't matter.
Well, it sounds like you're a faith guy.
No.
You just go from
I'm an
something.
anti-theist. I don't believe in religion.
You
I
go
actually
from
make sense of religion.
something to nothing, and then nothing to everything by a process that you can't even explain.
Okay. What is your explanation then?
I believe in design and creation.
believe in
Like
God.
so, like this sign, right? I made this sign.
Yeah.
The reason how I made this sign was I sat down at a computer. I chose the sequence of letters, and I put them in this sequence for the purpose of creating information, so you could read a vote for Amendment 4 is a vote for this. Then I chose to put this picture there. It was all intentional pursuit of an end message. So it wasn't chance variation. It wasn't non-design or natural selection. It was design. That's how I believe everything is built. All of the buildings, all of the cameras, all of your clothes, every single thing out here that is less complex than you was clearly designed, and no one argues otherwise. The most complex
It was
thing,
made by humans. Yeah.
the most complex things out here that go far beyond any of our computers or anything are the things that we say are not designed.
Like what?
And
What do you mean by that? Like,
Human beings.
Okay, but aren't
You know what? I just want to interrupt for a second and say I appreciate you. He doesn't deserve your attention because this is
See,
This is not
I think
right.
I think a life spent in rebellion to God.
yeah, I know. But yeah,
Hey,
someone's offended.
ma'am,
And
hey,
let's do it. At
you've protected this young man. Young sir, she rescued you from having a conversation you were losing. She came and she listened to you. She listened to your arguments. She said, I better go help this young man. It's an old lady who's lived her life in service to Satan, protecting someone that she knows is on her team.